fog lights are one of the most overlooked but absolutely critical pieces for an off-road lighting setup. They're not just for foggy weather. They help punch through dust, rain, and snow with a wide and low beam that keeps glare to a minimum and visibility to a maximum. Whether you're crawling in the dark or blasting down a back road in poor weather condition, a pair of good fog lights can make or break your line of sight. In the last few years, we've seen some exciting new players entering the market. Auxbeam has been making big moves with budget-friendly options that punches above their weight. Morimoto's 4-banger HXB SAE fog is making serious claims about output and distance. And Baja Designs, long known for high-performance race lighting, now offers a true SAE amber fog that's legal for on-road use. Meanwhile, Diode Dynamics has already built a strong reputation as a solid performer. So today, I'm putting these 4 popular SAE fog lights to the test. We'll compare lux output, current draw, beam pattern, and real-world beam distance to help you figure out which one is the best fit for your needs. I also reached out directly to each of these lighting brands and asked them one simple question: what makes your SAE fog light stand out from the others? You will hear what Baja Designs, Morimoto, Diode Dynamics, and Auxbeam had to say in their own words later in this video. Trust me, some of their answers might surprise you. First, we're measuring the lux number projected on the garage door. The lights are about 6 to 7 feet away from the garage door. I placed the lights closer to the garage door than other videos, which is normally done at 21 feet. The reason for that is I want to be able to measure the lux number across the beam so that we have a whole picture of the beam's brightness.
Alright, this is Diode Dynamics. At the left edge is about 314. Quarter way to the left, 3500. In the center, 3700. A quarter way or to the right, 2900. And we're here at the edge of the beam, 123, 114.
Here is the Morimoto's 4-banger HXB SAE fog lights. I try to aim them very closely on the garage door to have a close comparison.
Alright, we have Morimoto. All the way to the left, 180. And a quarter way to the left, 2000 or 26,000 or 2600. Right in the middle, whoa ho ho, 6,000 and 100. Quarter way to the right, 2,400, and all the way to the right, 100 or 200.
Now we have the Baja Designs new SAE fog light. Although the beam width is not up to par with Diode Dynamics or Morimoto, it clearly has the best cutoff.
Alright, we got Baja Designs SAE. Start off with 150 all the way to the left, quarter way to the left, 3,000. It's like right in the middle, 4,300, 4,400 I saw. 3,700, 35, 1,000, 600, 300, 200.
Now we have the Auxbeam Color Play Series SAE fog light.
Alright, this is Auxbeam SAE 350. Okay, that's pretty high on the side. 350, 1,500, 5,000. I'm seeing 5,000 somewhere. Yeah, there it is. 5,000 and a little over 5,000 I saw. 3,700, 3,500, and to the right is coming down. 3,000 or 2,500. And 600, 400, 200, 100 right here. All right, that's the lux measurement.
Alright, next we're gonna stack all 4 lights in one picture. The camera settings are consistent between the shots. We're gonna first rank them with beam width and then rank them with the highest lux number measured. As you see, I drew a line across the beam pattern for each light, and now I'm ranking them by the beam width. So out of the 4 lights, Diode Dynamics has the widest beam width. Auxbeam has a very similar beam width, however not as good of a cutoff. Morimoto's 4-banger HXB has a more impressive cutoff than the Diode Dynamics, however the beam width is slightly narrower. Baja Designs SAE has even more impressive of a beam cutoff, but it's even narrower than the other 3 lights. Now I'm labeling lux measurement for each light. Every light I'm showing 3 measurements. The first number is the most left side of the beam width. Second lux number is measured in between the most left side of the beam width and the center point of the beam. And the last number is measured at the center point of the beam. Now I'm ranking them by the highest number at the center point of the beam, from top to bottom. I also wanted to point out the color temperature difference of the 4 lights. The Morimoto and Diode Dynamics has the warmest color temperature, while the Baja Designs and Auxbeam has a slight hue of green in the light. Personally, I find it more comfortable looking at a deeper amber tone from the Diode Dynamics and Morimoto. To understand how much power each light exactly consumes, I always measure the current draw for each light. The Auxbeam Color Play Series fog light is pulling around 3 amps, and the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro fog light is pulling around 2.9 amps. The Morimoto 4-banger HXB fog light is pulling around 3 amps. Lastly, Baja Designs SAE is only pulling around 2 amps. Therefore, the power of each light is calculated to be 12.8 volt times the current, which for Morimoto and Auxbeam at 3 amps, their power is calculated to be 38.4 watts, and Diode Dynamics at 2.91 amps is calculated to be 37.2 watts. Lastly, Baja Designs power output at 2 amps is calculated to be 25.6 watts. Now we're coming to the field. What you're seeing right now is a LED low beam of my stock Tacoma. I'm going to label the specific lights being turned on the top left corner. Please note the tree lines at the end of the field is around 400 yards away, and the first white 10 on the right is probably around 200 yards down. Please also note I'm only using 1 pod from each manufacturer. Now we're looking at Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro. It's got a pretty wide beam pattern, as seen both traffic sticks are illuminated to the right side of the vehicle. And now we're looking at Auxbeam Color Play SAE. The beam width coverage is identical to the Diode Dynamics SS3. The spill of the light was able to illuminate the top of the tent, which could lead to more reflection in the inclement weather conditions and blinding the oncoming traffic. Now we have the Baja Designs SAE. For fog light needs, the very clean cutoff is ideal. However, I do think it's a little bit too narrow for my liking and could use some increase in the beam width department. Also, the color temperature of the light is more towards the greenish yellow side than amber yellow. Now we have the Morimoto 4-banger HXB SAE light. The color temperature of this light is very similar to the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro, and it's able to illuminate both sticks to the right side of the vehicle, although the garage door test of the beam pattern suggests it's a little narrower than the Diode Dynamics. From this angle, personally I would say both Morimoto and Diode Dynamics did a great job in terms of the beam cutoff, the beam coverage, and the color temperature of the light. So I'm going to flick quickly between the 2 lights to show you their difference. Now we're placing the camera on top of the vehicle to show you the overall beam shape from atop, and this is the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro. Auxbeam Color Play SAE Fog. It's definitely plenty bright, just needs some work on the cutoff for fog light. Baja Designs SAE Fog Light. Amazingly sharp cutoff, but narrow beam width. Morimoto 4-banger HXB Fog Light. Good intensity, good enough beam width, pretty good cutoff. Now I'm going to show you what the lights look like in the fog, especially when looking into the vehicle. Are they going to blind the oncoming traffic? Or would the beam be really sharp and minimal on the spill? This is Baja Designs SAE. Again, the beam has really good cutoffs in all directions, which leads it to not be blinding to oncoming traffic. This is Morimoto's 4-banger fog light. It has a deeper tone compared to Baja Designs, and a wider beam. The cutoff is not as good as Baja Designs, but it's still good enough so not blinding the oncoming traffic. Now we have the Auxbeam's Color Play SAE. Right off the bat you can see that it's kind of blinding to the oncoming traffic, as you see a lot of glares and spills around the light. Other than that, it's got a pretty good amount of coverage left to right, and it's powerful enough to be able to reach some distance. Now we're looking at the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro fog light. It also has that deeper amber tone, similar to Morimoto, but the beam width is wider than the Morimoto, and slightly less sharp of a cutoff. Now we're looking into the lights and having them turned on all at the same time. From right to left, the first one is the Diode Dynamics, then it's Auxbeam, then it's Morimoto, and the most left one is the Baja Designs. Alright, let's talk price and warranty, because performance isn't the only thing that matters. The Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro comes in at $399 a pair. As of April 2025, they started offering a lifetime warranty for their Stage Series lights. If you bought a set before that date, you're still covered for 8 years instead. However, there is a caveat to that. I'll tell you the story when Diode Dynamics rejected my warranty claim at the end of the video, which is the reason I'm looking for a new set of fog lights. The Baja Design Squadron SAE Amber is priced at $349 a pair, and also includes a lifetime warranty. I've actually had to use their warranty twice, and in both cases, Baja covered the return shipping, which is a great sign for customer support in action. Next up, the Morimoto 4-banger HXB fog light. They're the most expensive one on this list at around $450 a pair. They also come with a lifetime warranty, which helps justify the premium price a little bit. Finally, the Auxbeam Color Play fog lights are the most budget-friendly option, coming in at just around $130 a pair, about a third of the price of some of the other lights here. The warranty is only 2 years, which is definitely shorter, but considering the price, I'd say the Auxbeam offers the best value in this group. One thing I try to do differently on this channel is to go beyond just specs and beam shots. I reached out directly to the lighting company and asked them one simple question. What's your message to the customers shopping for SAE fog lights? What makes your light stand out in a crowded market? Here are the direct responses I received from each brand. Quoting from Baja Designs: sharp cutoff OEM fill with big performance gains, lifetime warranty on all lighting. The ability to do a paid upgrade on existing SAE lights, converting them to Sport, Pro, or Race models without needing to buy an entirely new light. Price point, $350, including lights, harness, and hardware. VSK, vehicle-specific kits available for additional cost. Here's quoting from Morimoto. While most brands rely on 4 LEDs to achieve high output, Morimoto's 4-banger uses just 3. Thanks to precision-engineered optics developed in-house by Yoshi Ishida, our lead lighting engineer, paired with high-efficiency Osram HXB or Nishia NCS chips and a robust thermal system, the 4-banger delivers more usable light and superior beam control in a smaller footprint than pods twice its size. It's not about stacking LEDs, it's about smarter design. Quoting from Diode Dynamics: while other brands outsource overseas, we design, engineer, and manufacture all of our off-road pods right here in St. Louis, Missouri, using globally sourced components. Instead of using basic reflectors or outdated projectors, our in-house optical engineers developed proprietary TIR, total internal reflection optics, resulting in a beam that's sharper, brighter, and more efficient. Quoting from Auxbeam: Auxbeam lights offer the best value among comparable brands, while still maintaining a high level of quality and performance. Our SAE fogs also feature multifunction modes like DRL and turning signals, features rarely seen in competitors' offerings. So here's my take on their messages. Morimoto and Diode Dynamics both lean heavily into their use of TIR optics, which they claim offer greater precision and efficiency compared to traditional reflectors or projectors. Morimoto is also proud of their compact form factor of the 4-banger, achieving impressive output with only 3 LEDs, thanks to smarter engineering and high-end components. Diode Dynamics highlights their commitment to American manufacturing, with all design and manufacture done in-house in St. Louis for their off-road lineup. Baja Designs focus on their sharper beam cutoff and significant performance gains over OEM fog lights. They also stand out by offering upgrade options that allow you to convert your SAE pods into more powerful configurations down the road, something unique in this space. And of course, their lifetime warranty remains a strong selling point. Finally, Auxbeam positions their color play SAE lights as the best value in the group, offering additional features like DRL and turning signal modes that aren't commonly found at this price point. I have been running the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro fog lights for the past 4 years, and up until recently, I've been pretty happy with their performance. But lately, I started noticing the paint on the housing chipping off, most likely from years of exposure to road salt and debris, which fog lights constantly take the brunt of. Since the lights were just over 4 years old, I figured no problem, they're covered under Diode Dynamics 8 years warranty, right? So I reached out to their support team, initially over the phone. They told me it will be covered. I sent over some video clips of the damage, but then they got back to me and changed their tone, saying, never mind, cosmetics or non-functional damage is only covered for the first 3 years. That was frustrating to hear. When Diode Dynamics advertises an 8-year or lifetime warranty, most customers would reasonably assume that includes manufacturing-related issues, like coating and finishing. And to me, that is a functional issue, because the finishing protects the light from corrosion and the elements. Honestly, even if it were just cosmetics, I still consider that part of the light's job. It matters, especially at this price point. After that failed warranty attempt, I just can't justify continuing to support a company that doesn't stand behind its product or its customers. I don't think I was being unreasonable. I have successfully claimed warranty service from Baja Designs with no question asked. What a difference. So from here on out, I will be parting ways with Diode Dynamics for my fog light needs. And based on everything I've seen in this comparison, Morimoto is now my top choice. I really like the deeper color tone Morimoto offers. It's richer than what you get from Baja Designs or Auxbeam. Morimoto also has the second best cutoff pattern in this test, right behind Baja Designs. And personally, I do think their TIR optics are an effective way to control and shape the beam. Now that's not to say Baja Designs or Auxbeam are bad by any means. At this point though, Morimoto feels like a strong alternative to the Diode Dynamics setup I've used to trust. If your top priority is getting the sharpest beam cutoff and having the option to swap to a true amber lens, Baja Design Squadron SAE is probably your best bet. On the other hand, if you're working with a tighter budget and want the most value for your money, Auxbeam's Color Play SAE is hard to ignore. I've dropped links to all the lights featured in this video in the description below. Feel free to check them out. They're Amazon links, which doesn't cost you anything, but it'll help me out greatly. Now, what do you prioritize when choosing fog lights? Please drop a comment and let's chat. I'd love to hear what works for your setup. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good one.